Hi, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for staying with me to continue learning and continue building and accumulating capabilities as a climate risk expert. In this class, I just want to take you on a refresher of what you already know. So I'm going to spend time here. I'm just going to refresh with you the types of climate risk. All right. Because why are you building or preparing climate scenarios? You are preparing climate scenarios because you want to manage climate risk. That's the reason. All right. Companies want to manage climate risk, which is the reason why they prepare and build climate scenarios. All right, great. Now, what are the types of climate risk that you know? You already know them. You know them. I know you know them. Yeah, types of climate risk. You have the physical risk, and then you have the transition risk. These are the two major types of climate risks that we have. All right, within the climate risk or climate domain. All right, great. So physical risk we understand or we understood in our last classes in module 1 when we started our journey that physical risk are risk arising from natural disasters. All right, natural disasters that are precipitated by elevated weather conditions. All right, elevated temperatures. When the global temperature is elevated to a maximum amount above the normal amount, above the pre-industrial revolution. Okay, that's where we are now. Then the earth begins to react. You have the ocean reacting and generating tsunamis and cyclones. All right, you have the rainfall reacting and producing thunderous rainfalls, creating flooding, flash floods. Then you have the sea levels begin to rise above that level, the normal sea level, chronic level, sea level risings that can wash away the entire city, especially coastal cities. Entire buildings and housing in a coastal city could be removed by rising sea levels. These physical natural disasters are caused by elevation in global temperatures. So the current global temperature is around 1.5 degree Celsius. All right, that is already high. All right, and that is the reason why we are having wildfires. Yeah, you have wildfires. The latest wildfire that we had that was quite devastating was in US. Was it in Las Vegas? Yeah, but was it this year? Sometime this year. Very devastating. No, Los Angeles. Yes, it was Los Angeles. Los Angeles. Yeah. Los Angeles in the US, in the United States. The wildfire. Los Angeles, it's Los Angeles, it's an affluent city, right? Where you have a lot of wealthy people building houses, mansions. Ladies and gentlemen, the wildfire incidents in Los Angeles wiped out all of the houses, destroyed all the houses, burnt down, literally obliterated all human settlements in Los Angeles, in as the whole major part of the city, right? Wildfire. That is a climate risk called physical risk. Okay, so imagine your company had a factory in Los Angeles. That factory would have been wiped out completely. Imagine you produce your inventory and you have a warehouse in Los Angeles and you store your company's inventories in that warehouse. All of the inventories would have been destroyed and wiped out. That is a physical risk. All right, it's a damage to your company that is caused by a natural disaster. a natural disaster that is precipitated by abnormal rise in global temperature. So that is physical risk. All right. Now, transition risk, we say that this transition risk is a climate risk that arises from government policy, change in government policy, change in technology to adapt to climate change. All right. New technologies will be developed in order to fight climate change, and that can put your business prospect in jeopardy. All right. In a very serious, dangerous position. New products can come on the market to compete with your product, isn't it? That is transition risk. And then there could be, so the indicators of transition risk is change in regulation, laws and regulations, change in technology. The technology might change. More climate combating technologies developed or product developed to combat climate change will be invented, and those inventions can be a direct competitor to your business, to your own company products. Can you see that? So that is a risk, transition risk. So the technology development can give birth to new products that might even replace your products in the market. That's the problem. It's a risk. And then number 3 indicator of transition risk you must remember and always mention when you're discussing transition climate risk is change in customer demand patterns. All right. So customers you're serving might change their mind about the product they consume simply because they want to join the fight against climate change by changing their taste from high carbon products like your own company's products, okay, to low carbon products like electric vehicles. So a customer that wanted to buy a brand new car will no longer go for a diesel engine brand new car because these customers have become increasingly conscious of the environment and the dangerous impact of climate change and global warming. Therefore, they want to use their purchasing and consumption behavior to contribute towards fighting climate change by reducing the consumption of high carbon products like your diesel engine cars or petrol engine cars to electric engine cars. No more petrol engine cars. They just want to consume and drive only electric, fully electric car, electrified cars. So you have to think about that when you're talking about transition risk. That's a revision about transition. So ladies and gentlemen, we're heading straight into the intergovernmental panel on climate change, our model that we are going to be using to deal with, to build a climate scenario for our case company. Remember, our case company is Boeing. All right, we're going to build climate scenario for Boeing. All right, so IPCC is the model, the framework, this climate scenario framework we are going to use. So your company can adapt this, okay, as its external published climate scenario. So the work we are doing here today, you can advise the board of directors of your company to adapt it, what you're going to learn with me here today, okay? So thank you very much. When we come back, ladies and gentlemen, let's take a break. We will continue and we will go straight into the construction of a climate scenario for a case company called Boeing Corporation, the biggest aircraft maker in the world. And we are going to build this on top of this framework called IPCC scenarios. All right. There are other scenarios like the NGFS scenarios for the banking and financial sector. It's very strict somehow. And then for energy company, you have the energy, is it the International Energy Agency? Yeah, IEA. Thank you. IEA, International Energy Agency scenarios. That is for the energy intensive industries, energy intensive or energy sector. But these two are very, very industry specific or customized for specific industry. The NGFS is for the banking and financial industry, customized for that. And the IEA, that is the International Energy Agency scenarios, is for the oil and gas and energy companies. So a universal framework for climate scenario is the IPCC. The IPCC is very universal. It is not a particular industry agnostic. It is not customized or designed for one specific industry. Therefore, it can be applied in all industries, across multiple industries, which is the reason why we are adapting it in this training to give you a tool that could be applied in multiple industries without any restrictions. Thank you very much. When we come back, we are going to hit the ground running by focusing on IPCC and preparation of our climate scenario for Boeing. Thank you. Bye. Cheers.